Okay. So this is two totally different style of presentation, and country introduction about then maybe not necessarily two. Maybe if we have food demonstration about third. But anyway, carving has more focus on play. It's more visible, where this is more literature based, and well, it's a kind of knowledge based stuff. And for me, both are totally fine. But well, still, particularly if you are not sitting here but watching their video on the screen, TV screen or something, it will be quite boring too. But well, maybe you guys are not smiling. Or sometime at the beginning, we are wondering if Zara is speaking already Zara all the time. Maybe, well, Kevita can stay out of this and then switch or something here. Because though, if you are standing there, we can have an interaction, okay, right? And well, but anyway, similar other feedbacks, please.
Yeah, what I said, it's like two totally different things.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was talking about Russia,
Mm-hmm.
and he is a part of Russia only. But there's like maybe he can contribute something to her, also say something like interaction.
Mm.
And the second thing is that about the culture, I don't think it's the whole culture. It's just maybe it's just literature, and like there are a lot of things to observe.
Yeah.
Like literature, like alphabet, like writers and everything. And the PowerPoint are full of like letters and characters. Too much information for us to observe.
Yeah. Maybe it will be time to time if you could make summary for wrap up for this content. What is why you want to introduce about this? If you can see, you can demonstrate motivation or purpose. Then one section by one section will be nice. Actually, it's similar to from this point of view, it's similar to Carvings that well, I ask you to have a cultural summary after plays because this is again demonstrating of how to play. But why you want to introduce all these games are not mentioned. So that's why we want an introduction and a conclusion, like storylines. Why you want to introduce why other country people have to know about that kind of stuff.
One of them is that when you're standing two people, it's very important when the other person is talking, you have to like show interest.
Yeah.
And not begin to play with microphone or begin to look away. And
at least Nikita was actually shaking head or something, supporting anyway. But well, this is the same meaning, okay?
Yeah,
Origination, okay.
And also, I think it would be better, for example, if Nikita, if you also focus on culture, because what I'm sitting again with is, okay, you talked about your city now. What are you going to do for the rest of the presentations? Are you going to talk about your city all other presentations, or are you going to follow the things again?
About culture in the city, because my part was originally about customer, just right from the beginning.
So I don't know. I just remember a sheet of paper. Maybe it's easier if you find a day and work together and make one presentation.
Yeah, we're working on it. So now we will not prepare, so we just used our separate ones.
I will combine it together because it's just a draft.
And one thing that might already be done, but I think Sarah, you have too much text.
Yeah, I will edit.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, girls show more charminess rather than speaking of text. Okay, Liz, you want to talk?
Yeah, I think, since you're given general panorama of culture, it's okay to bring up some information. I mean, it's interesting to know about the writers, but since we don't have time, it's okay just to mention the name, if the person wants to know. I think he or he will go after the information. If you have the name, you can Google it. For this person, it's okay to bring a lot of information. Yeah, I noticed it was a little strange. I thought you guys were going to explain the same presentation and talk, but it's okay, it's not. But yeah, you have to show interest because it's strange. Because for us, when we are watching you guys, we are don't only pay attention to the one who's speaking, but also everything what is on screen.
You guys are mean than me sometimes. Okay, impressive. Yes. These are common comments anyway. So everyone has a similar impression.
And also was good because both of them were trying to look at the camera. Because we were here, but
Nervous.
it's supposed to not be here.
Nervous.
Yeah.
Looking at camera is different.
Yeah, it will look
Difficult.
different when we look at the video. Because it seems like you are talking to someone, to the viewer. It will look different. But still, if one's looking at the viewer and the other's not, it's kind of funny, you know?
Okay, well, impressive. Okay, I try not to point out from the beginning anyway, but well, the point is right. But different aspect, more feedback in different way, different aspects.
It's just like Tolstoy, he was not a poet, he was a writer. But I know that it was just your mistake because you were worried.
Okay. Okay. My actually, this is applying to everyone at the end. After your talk, what do you want your audience to remember about this? This is important question. After listening your storyline, what they are supposed to remember, supposed to know. Okay, that's important. And then remembering of names are not really important, of course, but then kind of cultural essence or something history. Then, for example, I want all of you, after your storyline here, I want you to make questions, quiz. Then after listening your video, what quiz, well, just simple question. Question number 1, what was the biggest creature but in the strongest strong against human, for example, in his question. Then that is elephant, but something this. Simple quiz. But we want to have this kind of quiz, or why do you think storyline bit, or cultural part, which kind of occasion they decide A, B, C, you choose one, for example, this kind of storyline. Then your part is, of course, much easier to make this kind of quiz, but then more better emphasize what is most important, person or historical events or incident. Then from my point of view, for example, you Nikita introduced about some town structure design, and then if that is a cultural influence making everywhere in Russia or some part of Russia, then want to see some city picture, or this style became common since then. This city picture, oh, this is also something like this picture. Then, oh, that's a great incident, great designer that the city produced and spread influence in Russia. Then it's good to make a comparison. If your demonstration can make a good comparison with other cultures or other reference or other things to do, or if this may influence how, if we can make demonstration, then this kind of historical event and easy to make quiz as well. Then in Zara's case, you introduce a musician or artist and so on, but then why you want to introduce these? Because your motivation is there. Then maybe you want to say Russia has proudly produced the greatest artists, global artists in the past. That's why you want to do. That is okay. Russia has that kind of influence anyway. Well, then maybe you can make simple quiz. This music, who made this? It's simple quiz and so on. Or I don't know why you want to introduce musician's name or this. I want to see the motivation reason connecting to the audience so that the audience can catch up the storyline. Okay? If we have that kind of essence, then this story becomes very interesting. Then, yes, your city is introduced about the name relating to the history. And then, why don't you spend more time and also text information there too? And then that is fine. That is very important. Name is related to which storyline. That storyline would be more interesting than name itself. Then I want to remember, but just because you just skip too short, just can't catch up. But well, that's still relating to some sacrification with some burning some girls with some straw. That's a very interesting story. I never heard about it. But well, then if you have that kind of picture, that is good to show, spend time. That this unique storyline or who created this? Yuri, somebody created the city, but who is this? Not name, but who did this kind of things? The position or the significant contribution result or something? Or Mongoloids came, but why, how? Or
Not Mongoloids, but Mongol people.
Okay, Mongoloids, me. Okay. Or Great Fire, but why Great Fire happened? Of course, you may not know.
Yeah.
But this incident may have a more significant, and then you could spend a little more historical remarks. That's the more essence there. And of course, you try to make smart storyline, and so on. Then that becomes cultural essence becomes short, small. But don't forget the cultural essence is more important. Okay. Then and where if we can find in other places and so on, then that makes a more historical, not only historical interest, but then also tourist interest and so on too. So don't hesitate to secure your cultural essence. You guys have a most traditional cultural essence there in your presentation. I really like it. But well, in order to make attractive the contents and also the audience to remember what they are supposed to remember about your storyline, we want a more kind of exaggerate on that focus and also some quiz. Maybe if you can think after hearing about your storyline, if you have to give them a quiz, what sort of questions you want them to remember, then you can review back what sort of things you have to really spend time on. Okay? But well, I like these two typical storylines because two different, but eventually we are looking at the same. We want a cultural essence to remember or to learn from them. Okay. Well, thank you very much. And Zara somehow became very nervous in front of people. I didn't realize.